Border Patrol operations underway in my hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina. News Nation has confirmed that operations have begun with at least one Home Depot sweep taking place today. It is unclear how long these operations will last. Joining us now to talk more is Addul Ali there in Charlotte. He's the North Carolina chairman of the 12th Congressional District. Chairman, thank you so much for joining us. It's nice to see you again.
Glad to be with you. Thanks for the invitation, Anna.
So what's your reaction to Border Patrol now on the ground there in the Queen City?
Well, like so many folks who are concerned about the results of reckless border policies by Democrats and Joe Biden, we're glad they're on the ground here doing what they do best, protecting our great country.
Well, in the last hour, I did speak with a former commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection under former President Barack Obama. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Sending the Border Patrol in, of course, has not worked in Portland. It didn't work in L.A. It certainly hasn't worked in Chicago. And as Tom Ridge and Michael Chertoff and I have all chimed in the past, they are absolutely the wrong tool to put into an urban environment.
Now, so he goes on, he really argues that Border Patrol is the wrong tool. You know this city very well. What would be the right tool to use in Charlotte?
I mean, I don't know what rock that gentleman is living under or what fantasy land he's operating in, but when you have fentanyl being trafficked in cities, when you have Charlotte, North Carolina, a hub of human trafficking, what better tool to put on the ground than the people who are tasked with federal law enforcement and doing exactly what they're doing? There's stories coming out of illegals being arrested with fentanyl, and the human trafficking is just ridiculous. I don't know what rock that poor guy's living under, but that's the absolute right tool to use.
And tell me about your stats there on human trafficking. What I have here as far as crime goes is that it is down in the city of Charlotte this year through August compared to the same 8-month period in 2024.
Well, look, when you're selective about what statistics you're reporting, you tell that to the victim, Amari Cooper's mom, who was just killed at a Halloween party. You tell that to Jace Edwards' family, a 4-year-old that was murdered laying in his bed. You tell those families that crime is down. I think what we have to be cognizant about here is that when we're talking about crime in the city of Charlotte, we're seeing it every single day, and the victims don't want to hear some ginned up statistics. They don't want to hear about some pie in the sky numbers. They don't feel safe. People don't feel safe in the city, and we hear from them every day about it.
Well, where I met you was at a press conference that Republicans were giving. You were part of that in the wake of Irina Zarutska's killing, her murder. I was covering it for the network, and you said that you believe that her death was preventable because the gentleman who was the suspect in this case is a frequent flyer in the criminal justice system, and you said that is a result of failed Democratic policies. What did you mean?
Well, when we look at the fact that people like that gentleman were able to get out, another crime not long ago, someone that was arrested over 45 times, the policies of cashless bail are directly responsible for the death of Irina Zarutska and the victimhood of so many others. And it's not just about Irina Zarutska. Like I said, it's about Amari Cooper. It's about Jace Edwards. It's about so many other victims of crime. And look, not to play identity politics, when you have the chair of the county commission, a black man, when you have a black woman who is a congressional representative here and a majority black city council and county commission not willing to recognize how dangerous their city is for people of color who are bearing the brunt of this crime, then absolutely their policies and their ideology is responsible for it. So I meant that this cashless bail that we're seeing, and they can say it doesn't exist, but how do you explain a young man who's been arrested over 100 times out with no money up? If that's not cashless bail, I don't know what is.
So again, the breaking news that we're following today is that Border Patrol has now arrived in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, there is no sign that the National Guard is going to be going to Charlotte, but 3 Republican members of North Carolina's congressional delegation have urged Governor Josh Stein, who is a Democrat, to make the call to ask for that help. Would you support National Guard in Charlotte or not?
Well, look, I will say this. I think that law enforcement decisions are best made by those in law enforcement. When you look at, we just had another homicide last night, 11 p.m. Uptown on North Davidson Street. We have to do something, and clearly, operational control of law enforcement of in our city is not where it needs to be. We have Republicans that want the National Guard. We have some that don't. But I will tell you, we need to do something, and if that something means calling in the National Guard to at least get control and offer support to CMPD, then I'm all for it.
Okay, well, the president of the NAACP Charlotte Mecklenburg chapter spoke at a press conference Friday. Let's play a little of what she said.
No person should have to live under the dark cloud of fear, especially when all you want is to live the American dream, which has now become a nightmare.
What's your response to her claims that the American dream has become a nightmare?
Well, it's only become a nightmare because of Democrat policies. But then let's be honest here, Anna. When you look at the NAACP, they are a useless organization. They were a once great organization. If the American dream is dead, tell me how come I'm in a position of leadership? How do we have Byron Donalds? How do we have so many African Americans? We have a majority Black city council and county commission here in Charlotte. This is the same useless rhetoric that is used to divide people and to gaslight them. It's absolutely ridiculous. We just issued a statement condemning the comments of not only her, but Chairman Mark Jarrell of the county commissioners and Alma Adams, who just continue to spit out this useless rhetoric that, quite frankly, people are getting tired of it. People don't want to hear this anymore.
Okay, thank you. We do have an affiliate, WJZY, there in Charlotte, so we do have eyes and ears on the ground. We are expected to be seeing pictures of a protest that's happening, protesting the entrance of Border Patrol there arriving into Charlotte, North Carolina. Chairman Addul Ali there in Charlotte, North Carolina, chairman of the 12th Congressional District. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate you.
Of course. All right.